Well, this is a foreigner in the Philippines, and we're over at our latest site of the house number 25, and we're looking at, we're dropping off materials, and this is the scene. So they're all the roofing, that's 18 sheets of 10 by 24, and their mark-on, I think it was about maybe five rolls of the mark-on, and that's some of the wood that's being used. Hello, young man. And here's Beth waiting for me to join her. And there's Michael. Well, we're at only the first day, but then we're used to miracles with the Superman team. Hi, Michael. And Michael's mom. ¿Cómo está? That's pretty heavy stuff that young man is carrying there. That's 6 sheets of 10 foot by 24 inch corrugated tin. Pretty heavy. It took 2 guys at the shop to load that. Balantoy is the stepson of Mangrado. And that's Petty up there with the red hat. And I'm sure that some eagle-eyed critic will see that what seems like the floor that they're treading on is not running at the right angle. But just to remind you that that's not the floor, that's just a scaffold walking plank that they can do their work on. Okay, so if anybody's got his hot little finger poised on enter for that comment, perhaps I've saved you the trouble. You got the tin wrapped around. That's where we use the plain sheet. That's wrapped around the base of the those uprights. The uprights are put in, and they're made plumb in the good old-fashioned way with the pendulum, or plumb bob as some people might call it. And that's into the ground about, I would think, about 2 feet, and it rests on a rock, and then on the rock, and then around goes all of the concrete, which that's Pastor Timio doing that work there. So that will ensure, at that height, that will ensure that even in an extra high tide, the bottoms of those posts are not going to be in the water. And some of you from some of the older subscribers might recognize the old man there that's sitting with Beth and Bachoy. That's Grandfa. call him grandfather because in the on the Philippine tongue, P is not an easy one to pronounce, so he ended up being called grandfather instead of grandpa. Hey, Balantoy. And what you're looking at here now is a fish pond. For those that are not familiar with some of the Philippine culture, these are huge ponds that they breed fish in. Not the prettiest sight, in fact, as you can see, not a thing of beauty, but actually when you look at it through the lens it looks wonderful. So that's what we'll focus on. So Beth tells me that this is not coconut, this is not wood taken from the coconut, which is not ideal. I found that out myself when we had plenty of coconut and I used some of it to build a staircase in our house. Boy, just going up and down that staircase, soon the wood just ground itself to bits. It was shedding sawdust with every step. So I took that down, junked the old wood, and then we got some wood now. I don't know what this is here. I'm not sure what kind of wood this is, but it's not coconut. And that takes it up and increases the cost of the wood itself by I'm thinking around 30 or 40%. So a lot more expensive. In the future we're actually going to, that's when you have a chainsaw crew. When the chainsaw crew comes in and they go to a designated tree, believe it or not, they cut down that tree, you give them a cut list. These are very experienced workers and they know exactly what the sizes are that are needed to build a house. The only stipulation that you've had is you tell them how many of those posts are going in. So those posts, the uprights, that's the basic structure of the house, everything hangs on those, and they're usually a nominal size 4 by 4, 4 inches by 4 inches, and that's what you build the house on. That's what always goes in on the first day with a good crew. That will go in and that will be concreted in. Now tomorrow it will all be ready for going in and digging the footings around the edge there for the concrete block. That's what would normally happen. Now with this, because we're not putting in a concrete floor because of the problem of the tides, we're actually going to put in a wooden floor, so it will be suspended on these harder 4x2, I think. Floor will be suspended above, this much the same way that this has been done, and then we'll be using a bamboo strip floor, which is a fairly traditional way of handling things, and when it's new it is good. Obviously I'm answering a question before it's raised here, but no, it won't last forever, and it will be needing renewal at some point or other. Well, would anybody like to guess how long that house has stood there? Through typhoons, right on the water's edge. And how long has it stood there? Quite a few years. So I think that our structure here will be up there for many a year. And if one of our sponsors, John S., who just sent us a large box, if he is watching this, John, you'll soon be watching That's Perry that's doing the hammering there. It's a wooden handled hammer, probably that Perry himself made the handle for. Now, as I tried to explain in one of our other videos, instead of having a pouch, which almost any carpenter the world over, I think, well, the Western world over would have, that looks like a 1 litre oil can, and they've made that into a pouch. You can see that Perry has the red hat on, and you can see that round his waist he's got a hammer hanging in a loop that's on the belt, and next to that is a plastic cup. As I said, I think that is a 1 litre, a recycled 1 litre oil can. And we've now had a pledge of getting 4 pouches to these guys from New Zealand. Our friend Kevin Jordan, who also financed the cement mixer. Thank you, Kevin. Well, in April you'll be seeing them going around looking more like American or British workers on site, and that will be a very welcome thing for them. So there's between 4 and 5 workers. It depends on the job and what the logistics are of it, but never more than 5, because we simply can't afford a budget of 5 workers who are working on this. Even so, they'll be finishing this house by either late Monday or Tuesday. So Tuesday will be the outside time. And we've got children always on every construction site. I know that Westerners frown on this. It wouldn't be OSHA. Nobody without a hard hat and boots. But if you might actually look and see, wow, that's unusual. Perry is actually wearing slippers. I think as the other man is someone that we've just taken on as an extra, because we need to get some materials taken up to the hill, and in order to do that we've had to hire 1 more man. He came to Pastor Timio and said, can you put me on the team so that I can earn the money to be able to go to and take my family away to Negros. So his family are relocating, so he's a temporary member, and looks like he has some experience in construction. So there's Timio. You can see Timio's barefoot, bare hands. This lady's probably going to be living in this house. And who's this one? Hello, excuse me. The shyest little girl in the world. That's the little girl who had the gangrenous toes, and we spotted it just in time. As you can see, she's now got beautiful, healthy toes. I'm ashamed to say that I don't speak the language, so I'm making a guess here and saying that Timio, there's Timio in the middle, and he's talking to Beth, and they're discussing a design element to the house. Beth is very savvy when it comes to these houses now, because as I say, we built 25. We're actually looking at 26 already. We'll be doing some concrete work at the house before we do the 26. but 26 is already planned, and I believe that we have actually shown a video of that already. We sort of swung between this one and what back then was we thought was going to be house 25, but we made this one house 25. The other house didn't seem to be quite so bad as this one. This one really needed some work. Well, it needed some demolishing to my mind, but then that's me. Now in the Western world, all of this would be done. All of the trusses would be made on the ground, all exactly the same, and then they would be hauled up and put on the roof, and it would go together fairly quickly. In the Philippines, my observation has been, certainly in the province, which is where we are, on Bohol, the way they do it is that they haul the roof up piece by piece, and they make the roof up there. That's why they have that halfway floor, in order to be able to use that. But they're up there in slippers, which I can't even walk in. I can't walk in when they're dry. See, but there's that man now. Look, he's shinning down there, and he's in bare feet. Amazing. Amazing to me, anyway. There's a close-up of the setup. He's got a belt, and he's got his hammer hanging on a made-up loop, and he's got his recycled oil bottle. There's Perry's as well. You can see Perry's straight away. So Kevin, that promise, I'm going to hold you to that promise, okay, to bring up some pouches for these guys. I thought that would be a terrific gift. Okay, well, this is not quite the end of the first day. They will probably have the roof, all of the roof trusses, or most of them, up at the end of today, which will be an incredible day's work. That's all the posts in, all of the posts in, the main frame up, and tomorrow they'll be digging the footings out for doing, actually, what am I saying? No footings. I'm going on what we usually do, putting in a concrete floor. In this one, they won't be doing that. They'll be putting in that floor framework, and then going from there. So it's mostly a mac-on. Okay, so thanks for looking in. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and you can share about this, because this is house 25, and we are determined that we will build 100 houses. And if we can finish this by Monday, maybe Tuesday, we will have almost built as good as damn it. We'll have built 3 houses in the month of January, giving or taking a few days. Cut us some slack here, okay? Thanks for looking in, and bye for now.